Vigo play. They are an attacking side, especially at home, and they will concede chances on transitions, and we saw that tonight. And I think they'll go back saying, you know what, Alvarez should have done better, but by the same token, we gave up those 2-3 really big chances in the first half. We could have been 2 or 3 goals down by halftime.
Of course, a big game for Manchester United this weekend, taking on Arsenal. Mourinho was asked about his team selection for that match after this game, and he said, yes, obviously, we will be keeping an eye on that second leg tie at Old Trafford. You don't buy this?
No, not one bit. With the history that he's got with Arsenal and Wenger, there's absolutely no chance. And there's another factor. He's not got that many fit players. And he's not going to roll aside out to get turned over against Arsenal. No way. I'm not buying it by any stretch of the imagination. And he's got time in between the games for the players to recover.
Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decent gap. I think he will be keeping an eye on his team selection for the Celta Vigo home leg in terms of his Arsenal team, but only for maybe people who are carrying a knock.
Yeah.
Unless you're Chris Smalling
so he
or Phil Jones.
Rashford had a little knock before the even
Yeah,
started
and I think
today.
that's where you're not resting players. You're just managing with common sense, and there's no point, trying to force somebody, and he's been allegedly, accused of that this season, trying to force players to play when they're not fit. But I don't think he really has that luxury at the moment with the games coming thick and fast. So I think it's about, and look, he's experienced enough, it's about managing it sensibly. If you've got a knock and it's a muscle injury and there's a doubt, I don't think he will play him against Arsenal.
I think he will rotate, and as much as he's complaining about his squad's thin and injuries, you look at the players he had on the bench today, it was some list. And let's remember that before the Anderlecht game, he rested Zlatan against Chelsea. That was lauded as tactical genius. I think it was just with one eye on the Europa League, and still, I believe that Manchester United's best path to Champions League is to the Europa League. I expect him to do exactly as he done in the previous rounds.
There's more people looking at this than just Man United. The Premier League, I think, are looking at this as well, because it's been rough the last few years for the top English teams in Europe. Now, I don't expect it to happen, but if Manchester United were to capitulate to a team, what are they, 11th?
Yes, 11th
in La Liga, then that just paints another dim view of how English clubs are coping at the moment in European football.
Why is the Premier League looking at this now? I mean, the Premier League has never had anybody's interests at heart but their own. They continue to make fortunes with their TV rights. Never mind what happens with English clubs in the Champions League. That hasn't deteriorated.
You still try to sell it as a package, and you can't sell it as a package as readily if your teams are struggling, really struggling against the bigger boys, never mind the 11th team in La Liga.
My point being, Premier League clubs haven't done well in Europe for a couple of bidding cycles. No, and that hasn't dented the interest or the money they're able to generate. I don't see the Premier League taking on anybody's baggage but their own.
Well, honestly, I think it is important for them going forward that they show that their brand is still strong, not only in England, but across the world.
Gab,
would Mourinho... Put that question up.
Sorry?
Who put that question up?
Antonio.
Gab,
ask the SPI.
The SPI on Best Analyst.
Yeah. Don't move on yet, I'm not finished.
All right, sorry.
Yes, you are. Give him a custard pie, Dan.
Let's see what he's got to say.
You see the tweet you put out last night to our good friend and colleague there? Tell them before the show how many custard pies you were going to give him.
Yes.
Because you have been known to cut the gentleman off.
3 today up tonight.
Yes, that's a custard pies today. Would Mourinho really want to rotate his squad, Gab, against his arch rival and enemy, Arsene Wenger?
No, I think Mourinho also realizes and plans for the worst case scenario, which is you weaken your squad substantially and you lose to Arsenal, and then something horrific happens in the return leg and you don't make the Europa League final, and then you look silly. So no, I don't think he's going to do that. Mourinho generally plays the percentages. I think despite all the injuries, he still has a whole load of internationals on the bench. He's got some very good young players. Even if he rotates, I think he's going to choose the right squad for the game. But we're not going to go and see the C team out there so that they can keep everybody fresh for a game against Celta Vigo at Old Trafford when they're 1-0 up, having won the away leg away from home.
See, Paul, you're rubbing off on him. Look at the dress sense today.
Beautiful.
Doesn't he look smart?
He does look
Right.
smart.
Why doesn't he dress like that more often? Very important show, this. Takes it liberally.
Takes it liberally.
Literally.
What's liberally?
Liberally. Literally.
What's
I
liberally?
just got my tongue. I got my words mixed up there.
He's had a long day today.
I've been in since 9 a.m. today.
Oh, I hate it when you take things liberally.
All right. Don't pick up on that and deflect. Dressed today. Dressed nice today.
Do look smart.
For some reason, we've all got black on today.
Stands
It's
out.
Europa League.
It stands out.
I'm seeing the
Difficult to see how you dressing
What are
up
you
well.
talking about?
The colours all over the place, though.
That's all right. It's been a long day.
Why don't you get... No, forget what I was going to say there.
Good. I'm seeing the headlines already
Liberally.
for Wonder Kid Rashford, but let's be honest, him and Jesse should have had 3 or 4. Thoughts? Harry, you're a striker.
Look, the English media are going crazy over these two players. Look, I mean, the
Not over Lingard, but not.
No, not over Lingard as much, but I must say the strike tonight was a decent strike, but the goalkeeper's got to be culpable there.
Okay,
Look,
right.
just let these guys, let them develop. I mean, just leave them alone, let them develop.
Trying to give you
Gab, will you stop going crazy over Lingard and your columns?
Yes, Gab, your Monday
Stop it.
Marcotti musings.
I know.
You never shut up about Lingard.
Paul,
What?
I love the way, Paul, you keep talking in the plural. Rashford is one person. He's not two different people. Because I say this because I refuse to believe that you're putting Lingard on the same level
think
as
he
Marcus
is.
Rashford.
Well, it's the English media, Gab. They keep talking these
Gab
lads.
is the English media. Look at him.
Yeah, you idiot! You keep talking him up, man.
Right, okay, let's move on because this is extra time is going on and on.
Whoa.
We've been here since 9.
For Paul Mariner, who is your MLS MVP at this moment? Do you want some suggestions?
Yes.
Valeri, Giovinco,
Lingard.
Hugo Torres?
Rashford. You know what I like?
You like it when I say that?
I like watching Valeri.
Good, okay, right,
Valeri.
final one. Right, let's start with Gab because I don't think you three know what's going on. May the 4th be with you all. Who's
Oh,
your favourite
no.
Star Wars character? Gab, who's your favourite?
He's got no idea.
Other than Lingard, it has to be Boba Fett. If I can't have Lingard, I'm going to say Boba Fett.
Boba Fett?
Who's in Star Wars and I'll tell you.
Well, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker.
You called me Darth Vader today
Well,
in a
yes.
meeting in front of some very prominent people.
Yes.
Well, he's right.
I don't know. Darth Vader had his good days. That is it. Shaq, do you have...
Juventus!
That's a very in joke. And it's funny. You know what I'm laughing at. Things that cannot be said on the television. Well, they can be said, but we've been in big trouble. Who is the best analyst amongst you guys?
Me.
Antonio. Antonio
Well, the
Rosenbaum.
stats guy. He
Yeah.
sits behind there. There you are. There he is. That's his
His
finger.
hand, yeah.
I think Mariner.
Of course it's me.
Just, is it, just for this, just for that, just for Juventus, just for everything.
Juventus. You heard it first.
Okay.
Year-old kid, people forget that, but he's stepping up and taking responsibility at these key moments.
He's a 19-year-old kid, but he's a 9-year-old kid in love with football. A kid that finished a training session and stays half an hour more every day to take free kicks and to wait for the opportunity. So it's just his mentality. He works. He's very mature, and let's forget the age, because what matters is not the age, is the quality.
Is he injured? He limped off. Is it a serious injury?
He started the game already with a little problem, and obviously with the running and the continuity he was feeling, and Martial was fresh, and he had to give us these last 10-15 minutes where we thought we still could score, because plenty of space to play. So we tried until the end. We tried always since the first minute to win the match and score goals, but we missed chances. But the team was good, was strong, was compact. Could make a strong atmosphere look nice, and could make a team that is very difficult to play against because of the way they defend with 7, 8, 9 players man to man. And I think we played really well, very good performance. We had also to play against very negative records of Manchester United in Spain. So it's good, but we have match at Old Trafford. Let's hope that Old Trafford wants us to win, because when Old Trafford wants, we win. So that's what they want.
You've raised the prospect of making changes for that game with the second leg in mind. Is that affected by tonight's result?
No, it's not affected. It's what I have to do. It's what I have to do. So I'm going to do.
It's important to have everybody back. In relation to the Premier League, I think it's too late, because in the past months of April we played 9 matches, 7 of them in the Premier League, and we had too many problems. We had too many players absent. Because of that, we had players that had to play.
Aspas sufrió un marcaje muy acertado, muy cercano también, de persecución de su marcador, donde no le permitió irse de esa situación. Encontraremos solución a ese inconveniente, porque creo que Aspas puede y necesitamos de que escape de un lugar donde se lo detecte. Así que imaginamos también poder darle una vuelta de tuerca de desarrollo al equipo en ataque en ese sentido. Creo que nuestras chances existen, esto no terminó, vamos en busca de un nuevo partido, y el que pasó, generalmente los partidos de ida nos enseñaron, nos indicaron cómo jugar el partido de vuelta, y eso imaginamos para lo que viene.
Assumption that with 3 weeks to go, you're probably playing catch-up in your league. And even if you're not, you might need some players for your wild card that make you stand out from other players in your league. So, all of these players are lightly owned. None of them owned by more than 10% of managers. We've got a double game week in 36, Southampton against Arsenal, and then loads of double game weeks in week 37. Now, I don't have my wild card left. I've already used it, so keep what you've got. Don't get rid of someone like Josh King and bring someone in that's got 2 games just because. Just be sensible. This is what we've gone for this week. Love Leicester's home fixture in week 36. So there are Kasper Schmeichel and Christian Fuchs in there. Southampton, they've got the double game week in 36 and 37. Cedric, only owned by 2.4% of managers. Now, you've got a choice if you want the attack of Kieran Gibbs or maybe Monreal, who's now kind of playing as a centre-back. I think Monreal's more likely to play all 4 games for Arsenal over the next couple of weeks. So that makes up our defence. In midfield, Leroy Sané, he's had his rest, looks like he'll start. Mesut Ozil, obviously we've gone for him over Alexis Sanchez, because Sanchez is owned by far more than 10%. And Dusan Tadic as well, only 2% ownership. He could be a key differential. A lot of people are thinking, let's get Eden Hazard in, let's get Diego Costa in as well. Don't forget Pedro. He's scored of late and he's in form as well, and he's preferred by Antonio Conte to Willian. And Kevin De Bruyne as well. If you've got the funds, he may be worth adding. Now, this was going to be a differential pick when it was first drawn up. Now, the problem is, it's just going to be a pick that everybody has. Gabriel Jesus. If Sergio Aguero is ruled out for any number of weeks, then everyone is going to pick up Gabriel Jesus. If you don't have him and he goes on a score, then you're in trouble. The final one is a bit of a conundrum. Manolo Gabbiadini was replaced before the hour mark in Southampton's last game against Hull. He was horrible, but so was the service to him. There's rumours of unrest with Claude Puel and Southampton. I still think that Manolo Gabbiadini, with 4 games coming up in the next couple of weeks, even if he starts 3 of them, should be on your mind as you prepare for either a wild card or some changes as you try and catch your leaders in your group.